this morning. Got yourself a gun.
Hello everyone, let me just start by saying welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's been like 2 years since my last upload, but a brother is happy to be back with a new sense of maturity. And keeping up with the topic of change, I've recently finished the show The Sopranos, or The Sopranos. However you say it, I don't care. I say The Sopranos, I'm tripping myself up now. Never mind. I'm gonna say it how I say it. Anyways, magnificent show. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. And spoilers, of course, but you know, even I thought the endings of the show was pretty alright. You know, you can make your own interpretation of that black screen. I sure did, but we're not here to talk about the ending. Okay, that's a video of its own.
Today,
We are talking about how Christopher Moltisanti is the most relatable character that you can see for young adults in The Sopranos. It's not going to be so much of a deep dive into every action and how it affects his character, but more of how his actions may resonate with some of the fans. Also, if you're one of those guys that's like, oh, I'm totally a Tony Soprano, I'm gonna get my gabagool if I woke up this morning, got yourself a gun, then you're probably like Chris from that one cutaway gag. I don't know if it was a cutaway or like a full episode, but it was from Family Guy. It was like the Sopranos bit. I'm gonna play it right here.
The machine is finally giving accurate results.
Oh yeah, we'll see about that. Meadows' boyfriend Finn? But he's the worst one! Oh my god, we've been faking the results this whole time!
Tony?
Oh cool, I always thought I was a Tony. No!
But yeah, let's get right into the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. Sorry if the audio is a little bit wacky, by the way. I'm gonna get that all fixed up in my next upload. Make sure everything sounds good. Make sure I'm not too close to the mic.
Femboy.
Part 1. His age. The reason I preface young adults is because that's what Chrissy is. Shocker, right? It's crazy how the younger audiences relate to younger characters. But anyways, while his age isn't necessarily stated in the show, based off his appearance, like that sick-ass hat in the pilot episode, and the way that others treat him, with him being referenced to or referred to as Tony's nephew, we can assume that Chris is like in his early to mid-20s. You know, being pretty close to that point myself, I do get rather ambitious myself sometimes. I mean, that's why I'm making this video, right? I'm not really in the mood to go shoot gangsters or anything like that. But, you know, I had a creative surge. It was ambition out of nowhere. But it also could mean that he's pretty prone to doing wrong. You know, he hasn't fully been seasoned in life or in the mob life.
Okay, I can't do this if you're going to be thrusting like that, okay?
Part 2. His recklessness. On average, people don't really stop acting out until around the age of 25, based on the Raising Children Network. Go search that up, alright? I did. That includes doing things out of impulsivity, or just because you want to. However, even if Chris is a little bit older than 25, we could probably cut him some slack due to growing up around the likes of Tony Soprano, becoming somewhat of a student of his, as like what Tony did with Chris's late father, Dickie Moltisanti. Now, throughout the series, right, we can see Chris thinking with his hands, his money, and his dick more than a lot of characters, though it is kind of hard to beat Tony on a lot of those things. For example, rather than using the time that Chris and gang stole the truck of suits in season 1,
Just when I thought I was out. Pull me back in.
let's cut to the time that Chris killed JT in season 6's episode 5, Walk Like a Man. Now let me just say, I know that nobody here really relates to drunkenly killing a man, right? As we can see, Chris is not only relapsed in terms of sobriety from substances, but there's also the fact that one simple sentence while in this state is all it took to send JT to Belize.
Chris, you're in the mafia.
Shout out to Saul Goodman. This scene displays that Chris, even all the way out in season 6, can't control his impulses. There could be a counter argument, right, saying that Chris killed JT because he quote unquote knew too much. But again, whose fault would that be? It'd be Chris's fault for carelessly giving out information when and where it shouldn't have been. I mean, having your boss, your mob boss, portrayed on the big screen in that way is really a sure shot way to have your ticket punched. I mean, a bad move, bad idea.
Thanks for helping me dig this hole, Mr. Moltisanti.
Hey, no problem, Stewie.
Act 3, Abuse. Speaking of punches... Alright, I'm sorry. I know that was probably in bad taste, but it does have to do with our next topic, which is abuse as a whole. Chris tends to abuse things that are easy to abuse. This includes things like drugs, alcohol, easy sex, and unfortunately his girlfriend, Adriana, both mentally and physically. Also, just want to say, if you are abusing your partner, stop. Back on topic, these are easy vices for Chris to get his hands on when things get out of control. For him. I mean, we've all heard him drop this hard bar before.
I don't know, Tony. It's like just the fucking regularness of life is too fucking hard for me or something. I don't know.
After hearing this, we can infer that he leans on these things pretty frequently to get through it, quote unquote. Final act, how it relates to us. Bringing his age, recklessness, and abusive tendencies all into the mix, how does the murderous mafioso Moltisanti relate to any of us at all? Well, we have to look past the first dimension of a lot of his actions. While they're still inexcusable, they're still usually out of context, and there's still some sort of self-justification for a lot of what he does. For example, as a young adult myself, sometimes I like to have myself a nice J after a hard day, and being honest, there's been times in my life where I've relied on that a little bit too heavily. While I'm not out here shooting gangsters or snorting lines, I still do have a vice that I seek out when things get a little bit sticky. Maybe you, the viewer, don't abuse a substance per se, but maybe your mood gets a little bit more pissy after you get in trouble or something at school. And then maybe that pissy mood gets carried on into your next conversation, and you know how that gets played out. The point is, it's not what he's doing up on the screen that's supposed to be relatable, and God forbid if it is. If it is for you, I'm gonna pray for you tonight, pinky promise. But it's what his actions represent. It's the fact that he's a troubled young adult that sometimes seeks validation, who is also very ambitious. These aren't bad traits to have, and if you do have them, then they don't make you a mobster by any means. But mixed with a guy like Chrissy, you can see where feeling impulsive can lead someone like him. But nonetheless, those traits are there, and it's what makes Chris one of mine and many's favorite character on The Sopranos.
Hey, Paulie, how about you and me going up to Massachusetts and getting married?
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Oh my gosh, it was fun to record this. I have not made a video in so long. You know, if you enjoyed this video, then definitely look forward to more. If you did like it, smash like, smash subscribe. But yeah, love you guys. I need to make an outro. I'll have one next video, but good night.